For example, guys, I fished all over the Great Lakes up there. And in the Great Lakes, when you're on the Great Lakes and you get a 15 or 20 mile an hour wind, you're going to have 6 to 10 foot waves out there. But the thing about that is those 6 to 10 foot waves on those big bodies of water a lot of times are spaced wide. So you can, they're so far apart that you can actually just sort of ride over them and surf over them, and it's fun. They're not dangerous at all, guys. I've been out there in some monstrous waves on Lake Erie before. I went out there one time. I just wanted to see what it was like. The wind was blowing like a sustained 45 and 50. So I launched the boat in the harbor and I went out in the lake probably 2 or 3 miles just to see what it was like, and it was freaking epic, guys. I swear the waves looked so big, and I'm sure they look bigger than what they were, but it was like you were looking up at a roof or something of a house. You'd be down in a trough of one and you'd look up there, and I swear they looked like they were 15 foot above you, but they were so far apart that you could just sort of ride them like a roller coaster. Then I've been on other lakes out there where you have like a 4 foot wave, but the way the wind was stacked on those waves were super tight together, and it would beat you to death and super, super dangerous. So, you know, when you're talking about terms of how to run a boat in rough water, you have to really decide, you have to analyze how the waves are coming in and how they're breaking before you actually decide out how to attack them. Okay, so here's some tips what you want to do. First of all, above anything else, the foundational thing about running in rough water is you have to slow down and you have to be able to hit the waves at the right angle. Now, the right angle depends on how the wave is stacked and how close it is together as far as how you want to actually come into that wave or ride with it. But the main thing, biggest mistake I see a lot of guys make is they just drive too fast, and that'll get them in trouble. So one of the things that you want to do with a wave is, like, first of all, you have to be able to adjust your trim angle in order to make that ride drier and more comfortable. Now, a lot of times people think that they've got to trim the motor up a little bit to get that nose up so they don't nose it. That's not the case all the time, because a lot of times by trimming that nose up where you actually have that boat riding a little bit higher, sometimes that can be dangerous because your boat rides more on the pad of the boat and it makes it land a lot harder when you drop into a trough of a wave. So don't necessarily think that you have to do that. A lot of times you can leave your motor tucked in and allow the V of that boat to cut the waves better if you tack the waves correctly.